Here's where you can buy some cheap government surplus land for as little as $100. We're talking land that is cheaper than probably the total of all your Netflix and Disney Plus subscriptions that you could probably go and flip and make some good money on. The hardest part is finding where this land is. We want to show you today that this is possible. We're going to show you one of our secret spots that we really enjoy going to for cheap land. So it's important, if you want to check this out, because sometimes when we make these videos, people go and buy it all up. So we'll walk you through it here step by step, because buying cheap land at the right spot, if it's a government surplus land, you can go, you can flip them, and you can make some good money on these pieces of property. And it's a great way for the average person to get into real estate at a very low entry and make some money. But I can't continue the show until we bring in the dream team. Mr. Josh Blanchard, welcome to the show. Mr. Corchese,
hello.
Welcome, folks.
Howdy.
Been in the tax lien and deed trenches with these good men for many years, over a decade. And today we're going to walk you through. Josh is the master researcher here on the team, and he's going to show you guys where to find this stuff. So this channel is dedicated to helping you buy cheap property, flip it. If you're looking to make money in real estate, this can be a great place to start. Today, we're going to show you some surplus properties. What are the pros and cons real quick? The pros, sometimes they're super cheap property, which we found. We're going to show you here today. And this is exploration mission. The idea here is you can go buy this property, but take away from it and go find your own, buy it and flip it. Part of the pros and cons is that sometimes there's a whole bunch of junk you have to sift through. However, a couple hours of elbow grease to find a property for $100 that you could sell for a few thousand, why not, right? I'm sure if we add up our social media time, we've done worse things with our time and money. So Josh, let's take it away. Let's show these guys where some cheap government surplus land is for as little as $100. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. I got the website pulled up here. So everyone, you can follow along, have a look. And the way I got to this, I just did Michigan tax sales. We just got to get my screen up there,
Josh,
and then we'll be good.
We need your screen up there. I think you need to share it.
No, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay, so yeah, tax-sale.info/surplus. And so for these, there are good deals there, but it is first come, first serve, and these are massive discounts. So it's not a bad idea to be checking this, and also be looking for future auctions, and then stuff that doesn't sell there, you can do the same thing. And one of the unique things about this website is you can actually pay with a credit card as well. See that right there, credit card, 2.75 credit card fee, but there's not many auctions that let you do that, but here you can. So this is everything that is available right now at the moment. And there's been other times that we've come on this website, and the list is actually way bigger. But so this is what's available right now. And again, first come, first serve. So looking at this in order, we've got a Renac surplus. So here you can see, that's not going to be great. Here you might have to do a little bit more digging, but let me show you some others, because there is one deal right now that is smoking. Aha, here we go. This is pretty crazy. Minimum bid $100. This is 0.10 acre vacant lot. So it's actually between two houses. So looking here, they've got an assessed value at $16,900. And unlike a lot of other counties, they've actually driven this already. I'm not sure how long ago they drove this, but you can see they've got the picture there between two houses. Amazing, right? So $100. Here's a description. So it formerly had a house. Now it's just a vacant lot, a little bit of a slope towards the sidewalk. But obviously for $100, you can't go wrong, right? And so there's a full description. You got a little bit more, and then you've got related links, county rules, an affidavit for transfer, GIS mapping. But I mean, really, where in the United States of America can you buy a lot between two houses in a neighborhood for $100?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the best ways to make money on these is to sell it to one of the neighbors. Many times people who watch this channel, they go and they buy it and they're like, hey, I bought the land next to the neighbor. bought it for a couple $100, sold it for a couple $1,000, which is super cool. It's a great way to make money. Or you could find some cheap land, put up a billboard on it, maybe rent some advertising space. Regardless, we want to show you guys ways into real estate that can be cheap, low risk for the average person. We often waste a lot of money and a lot of time. So why not get into some real estate and make it happen? For everybody who's joining right now, welcome to the show. You can always watch this from the beginning and follow along for yourself. Please post any questions you have. We're gonna get to those. And once again, if you like this stuff, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and remember, for everybody tuning in, we always give away a free book called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. It is 100% free. It'll show you how to start, and as well as an on-demand training. We took the DVDs, put them on demand. Anyways, that's in the description below. You can grab yourself a totally free copy on the house here today to help you get started and learn the finer details as well. So go check that out below. And we're going to continue here to show you guys some of these properties, how to go about looking at them. And remember, it does take a little bit of elbow grease to do this, right? This is the unique angle into real estate. A lot of people can't afford expensive property these days. So this is a great way to be scrappy, to hack into real estate.
Exactly. And so if let's say we were driving this property and we were driving properties in Michigan, and this is actually what it looked like. And so with the house being a tear down, we would treat it like it's just a piece of land. But the problem is that you're actually going to have to come and demo the property. So what's phenomenal is that in this scenario, the property has actually already been demoed. It's already a vacant lot. And so that's going to save you, like $16,000. Because even if you got the lot for $100, but someone's going to have to come along and demo the property, the price is going to go up significantly, right? And it's going to have less value. But with it already being vacant, that's already been taken care of for you. And so to get this lot for $100 is legitimately an insane steal. And so again, it is first come, first serve. And if you want to get a feel for what the area is like or what vacant lots are going for in the area, I've got it pulled up here on Zillow. And I'm just going to simply click either to the left or to the right. And then what I'm going to do is zoom in right here. See that plus sign? I'm going to go like this, and that's going to bring us to our area. So again, we are 809 South Blackstone. So here's South Blackstone. And if you want to get a feel for what lots sell for, go to home type. Let's deselect all, go lots land, apply, and we can look at stuff that's for sale or things that have recently sold. And so if there are no lots in the area, then you could have one. But scrolling out, we got 9K over here, 8,700 square feet, 7.5, 5.5, 12, 7.5, 20, 9, 9.9, 15. But you always want to stay as close as possible to where you are. So let's go ahead and look at sold. And there we go. So we got 2.5, 3.9, 7.5, 9.2, 1.8. But let's also make sure we're looking as close to the current time as possible. Nothing in 6 months. We got 2.5, 1.8K. So still, if something moves for 2.5K incredibly quickly, and you can get it for $100, that's a pretty sweet. That's a pretty sweet spread. So it looks like this was actually in 2021 though, and then it went off market. So that's not exactly the fairest price. And so something on the market could go a little bit higher than that. So the county is assessing it at 16,000. And then people are listing stuff for, we got 9 here, 8,700. That's been sitting for how long? Let's see. So that's been sitting for a couple of months. So yeah, you could go ahead and you could try to list it for 9. But to move it quicker, you probably have to take a bit of go a little bit lower. But again, $100, which is wild. And so as you can see, a lot of these are actually irregular shaped lots. This one starts like on this northern tip, wider, gets thinner. So that's got no use, right? Triangle sliver of land there. So that's no problem. You can just close this up. But I mean, sometimes, as we talked about, it's you can be thinking outside the box. For instance, is this a busy road? And if so, could you actually put a billboard there That actually is 0.22 acres. So it's not like it's incredibly tiny. Yeah, 50, $100 minimum bid. Put a billboard there, get some cash flow. You could quickly pay for your $100. Just a thought, thinking outside the box there. Some of these maybe you could sell them to the owner that's next door. Nothing is looking as good as that one that we saw. We've got
If we look here, there's one that was like
yeah.
right behind a house that was a good idea. Or maybe it was on the, oh, did we miss it? Maybe it was on one of the last pages. Where did it
Oh
go?
yeah. Let me
Where'd
get
it
it
go?
back. Let's see. AJ. I think it was in Bay Surplus.
Oh, here it is on the
Yeah, this
left
one,
here.
right?
Yeah, how much is that one?
$100.
Yeah, $100, right? Like you could literally go, like this is a pretty useless piece of property. The only thing that is useful here is to the neighbors in the front and behind it. But, you know, you could pitch to these people, hey, do you want to raise the value of your property by $4,000? I got this piece of property. You can have it for $800. Buy it, sell it for $600, $700, $800. And people do this. People watch the channel, they get scrappy, and they'll do stuff like that. It's a great way to flip some small properties and you know, really utilize some of these cheap things out there. And it can be a great hobby, but it can also lead to great wealth in real estate if you guys are taking action on it. You know, we've have every people on this channel come in and watch and buy things for as little as $50. We have some people who buy hundreds of thousands of dollars properties. So the cool thing is there's an entry point for everybody into this game.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing too is that these sales would have happened you know, mid to late 2024. So this has all been sitting there since 2024. And so we do see some stuff here that could work. I mean, the $100 lot that is between the two houses is definitely the best one. But I mean, if you come back and you're keeping a pulse on it, you know, after the auctions this year, there's going to be a lot of stuff here, and everyone has, I mean, not everyone, but a lot of people have already gone through this list and scooped up the best deals. But as you can see, people have still missed some deals, or sometimes people are not thinking outside the box as to what they can do. Some of these have no images. So it's entirely possible that someone would come along and they would not bother to get into the weeds on something like that. There's actually quite a few. Yeah, all of these ones here as well. These ones have a minimum bid of $1,000. So mind you, that seems like a lot, but that's because we're comparing it to $100.
Yeah,
Here we
Lighthouse
go.
Village. Josh, if we pull
Yeah,
that up, is that near a lake? Some of these?
let's see.
There's a map.
Let's throw this in. Huh. It sounds like it should be, but I don't think so.
Hmm.
Yeah,
There's
lake's
a
far
lake.
away. Yeah.
The lake is only this far on the map. Because they had a sale this summer where there was lots of like lakefront properties for a couple $100.
That's right.
Yeah, remember those.
But like, for example, the
Golf
things
and
you want to
dining.
avoid is stuff that looks like completely useless, right? Like if it's landlocked and it's not of any use to anybody, you can't think outside of the box. Obviously, don't go there. What's this one?
Let's see.
Lakes of the North.
Yeah, it says amenities include camping, private airport, clubhouse with pool, stables, winter sports area. Yeah, so for something like this, you're going to have to take that parcel ID and then get it in the GIS search for the county. But the other thing too is that there may be a lot of these that are small and irregular, but if you can actually pick up a whole bunch that are next to each other, then you could combine them, and now you've got something really cool to work with. You got okay, so here you go. Lot 690-417, 690-418. So maybe they're side by side, and now you've got the ability to start to combine. Here's 420. So 419 is missing. Maybe it's elsewhere here. But that's another way, because that may be something that someone else is not willing to do. Because it's going to take a little bit more work, but the payoff is going to be better. 84, 841, 845, 84. Okay, so you got 841 and 840. So there's another two that you could combine together. And that's just it. Yeah, thinking outside the box, because you may be able to actually come up with a fairly large size lot in a great area where a lot of other people may pass up on it.
Nice. And the fun thing about a lot of these sales in Michigan is you can use a credit card, which is super fun. A lot of places don't allow you to use a credit card. So, you can buy some property, get some points at the same time. And then, Corey, weren't you researching like or zero interest cards for property at one point?
Yeah, there's a lot of different options. Honestly, if you just Google 0% interest credit cards, there's always these bloggers on the internet who are kind of updating the best ones. I mean, we know some. MBNA is the one. I think they're up in Canada, might be in the US as well. But like, there's always promotional materials that you can find, or promotional things online that you can find. So just have a look, because you can get up to like 12 months interest free, which is pretty good, or 0% interest.
Oh,
So here's something interesting is that for the other county, they're limiting you here. It says can be sold to adjacent owner. And so in that sense, they're not looking to sell it to someone else, but here you can buy it. And so this is actually connected to a few houses. So open bid on this one is $100. And this is where, you could actually try talking to a couple different people and seeing if any of them are interested. You've got a lot of different options here, which is great because it is touching so many houses. Yeah, 0.10 acres of land. So there's another one, possibly have a good exit strategy. And the other thing too is that there's no harm in actually approaching. You could skip trace, you can send postcards to some of these neighbors and say, hey, I'm thinking about selling the piece of land, like touching your house, wondering, if you'd be interested in like a rent to own for $500 a month, and you're into it for $100 and you get your money back, the first month, and you're in the positive by 400%, and then collecting cash on it, which would be pretty wild. And that stuff does happen.
Nice. Looks like we've got a couple questions here. Appreciate the comments, folks. Let's see. Regarding land, how do you overcome an answer from a neighbor if they're not interested in land because it would increase costs, paying more insurance, taxes, and stuff like that? A lot of the times the taxes on this stuff is super low, so you could explain that to them. The increased value to their property should definitely way overcompensate. We haven't seen that as much of an objection, but that's part of the prospecting and the process is talk to the neighbors. You can talk to the neighbors before you buy it and, have the buyer lined up before you go. Let's see. Do they have surplus in Texas? Josh, can you take that one?
Yeah, I wonder if we could just even find some live real quick here. Dallas unsold tax deeds.
So because Texas does auctions every month, a lot of the times they'll just roll it over into the next one, but we have found some coming up lately.
Yeah, so the way that it works, and I think another question here was about Montgomery. Yeah, so resale, that means that it's already been at the auction previously. And so a strategy for some investors may be not to purchase a property. You might see everyone not be interested in a property because it'll come back with a lower tax amount. Sometimes, these delinquencies and taxes, they could be like 10 years worth of taxes here as the opening bid. And so maybe something's worth $50K. The open bid is $50,000. Doesn't sell, comes back next month, maybe 40,000. No, it doesn't sell, comes back next month lower. They'll go all the way down to about $1,500. And so what we have here is properties that I think they were resales, but now they are struck off and they're available. So if you go here, you can see struck off list. And there's actually a few things here. They've got a bid period. And so post-judgment tax years, they got the suggested minimum bid amount. So this one, they're looking for $54K on 142,000. 42 on 55, that's not great. 74 on 74. So if they don't get it, that's definitely something you want to be in tune to as well. It's like what happens to the struck off stuff that doesn't sell. Here you got 5 on 8, 197 on 272. So if the assessed value is low, maybe there are some deals here. I mean, this 54 on 142 is actually looking really good because a lot of times it could be 30% less than the actual value. We've got a lot of other stuff, and so you can always. I bet you could make a lower bid if they're not going to take it. Anyway, so there is stuff available in Texas, and this is Dallas, of course, too, right? And so if you're looking at smaller counties, maybe they're going to have more stuff available since Dallas is a huge city. But there's definitely stuff available, and here's just a quick example.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we're going to keep it a little quicker here today. And for everybody watching, if you guys like this stuff, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. And remember, for anybody who tunes in, we give away the ABCs of tax lien and deed investing. This walks you through a lot of the finer details, a lot of the checklists to go through as you guys are researching these properties so you can track it, right? Like, when will the sale be held? What time does the auction begin? What's the full amount? What form of payment do they take? All that sort of stuff is in the book. It's in the description below. It's totally free. And we took some of our classics. These were DVDs. It's similar to the stuff on the channel, but this is all free as our gift to you guys as well. So that's below in the description. You can go grab those. Totally free there. And in the meantime, go check out some of these properties, get started, and just start poking around. You know, instead of going on social media, give yourself a challenge like, hey, I'm going to buy some property, right? Look at how much time you've spent on Instagram and things like that, or Netflix, and be like, you know what? Instead of going on Netflix, I'm going to buy a property and just get started, right? Because it feels good to watch these, but if you guys don't take action, you know, it's kind of useless. So on that note, we'll keep it short. We'll sign off, and we'll see you guys on the next one.